Hello, welcome back to PokéBoys. We're here. It is leg 2 of season 7. We're playing through Pokemon Unbound with a very special guest, Venom, from our Discord, the winner of the season 4 Pokemon Infinity Interstitial Tournament. He's joining us through the entire season as a guest co-host as we play through Pokemon Unbound. Along with Venom, Kumino is here with us, like always. And we are going to break down leg 2, our journey through the Borrius region. We will be talking about obtaining our 3rd and 4th gym badges, essentially, halfway through the game already, kind of. But Kumino, how are you doing tonight, man?
I can't complain, man. Everything going smooth for me.
Yeah.
What about you and Venom?
I am... as you can see, those watching YouTube, Porch Mike has returned, and I'm enjoying a brisk. What did I say, Venom? It's like 86 degree, muggy Florida evening. Wait. It's beautiful.
So, did that problem get resolved?
Yeah, yesterday. This happens pretty frequently for those that are interested in HVAC in Florida. It's not uncommon for air conditioning units to the drain pipes to clog up because of the humidity and stuff and how hard the units have to work down here. So every 3, 4, 5 months, our pipe gets clogged. The air conditioner shuts off. We have to have someone come out and unclog the line. That happened yesterday. So we were supposed to record last night, but the repair guy gave us a window of between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m., which is always fun to have repair people at your house at 10 o'clock at night. Right. But he was here till 10:30, so we weren't able to record last night. So we're here tonight. The air's fixed, but my in-laws are in town, so they're, watching TV.
I thought the wife put you in the doghouse.
No, not tonight. Most times, but not tonight. Venom, how are you doing, man?
Doing well.
Yeah.
It is about half the temperature you have right now here. So
it's in the 40s up there.
I believe tomorrow's high is 46 in rain. So
and where are you, Venom?
Antarctica.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
On the border between Minnesota and Wisconsin. So
okay.
So basically I wasn't far off.
No.
Wrong direction, but kind of.
Hey, if you go far enough north, you'll be south.
There you go.
Okay.
Unless you're one of those flat earthers, then I don't know what to tell you. But yeah,
you just flip over and then walk on the opposite side. I guess I don't know.
If you go far enough north, then you're upside down.
You go far enough north, you're eventually going south.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah. So hopefully leg 2 went a little more smoothly for you guys playing on masochist difficulty level. Leg 2 was okay for me. I mean, I had a grand old time, but we'll get into all those stories. Before we get into leg 2, though, let's go ahead and recap our teams after leg 1. My team was looking like this. I had a Phantom named Treebeard, a Litleo named Simba, and a Alolan Sandshrew named Stella, a Hariyama named E Honda, an Inkay named Squidward, and my Larvitar named Kai James. Venom, what was your team looking like?
I had a Nidorino named Spike, a Boldor named Dumbledore, a Manectric named Blue, a Matang named Sentinel, a Scraggy named Bags, and an Araquanid named Sandy.
Nice.
And my team consisted of
no one asked you. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. Kumino,
the disrespect.
Please tell us your team from leg 1.
It was Tang the Pig Knight, Leroy Jenkins the Gubite, Lily the Florges, Austin Aries the Crobat, Pauls the Lucario, and Boot the Spiel.
Good old Uncle Boot.
That's right.
So the teams
Which
were
he'll have the
full.
kids tomorrow. So
Shout out Uncle Boot.
right.
Teams are looking solid. We had, of course, obtained our first 2 gym badges in leg 1, and we were chilling outside the KBT Expressway. I know, Venom, did you talk about going through the expressway? Because I think you, if I remember right, you did it after the
Yeah,
gym, right?
I had some catching up to do. I actually ended up doing the KBT Expressway after Gym 2, right before we recorded last time. And then also had some other backtracking to do as well that you guys had already done. So I can touch on that real quick.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So finished Gym 2 and went into the KBT Expressway to battle the Black Embor, who were all pretty easy until I got to James, the leader. And I've got here his team was a Selgor level 27, Pig Knight level 28, a Lolon Grimer level 28, and Coughing level 26. My entire team at the end of leg 1 was level 26, so he was slightly higher than me. Although a couple of my Pokemon had leveled up battling his minions before you get to him. Won't go through the entire battle, but his Acelgor has poison spikes, and my Nidorino has poison spikes. So the battle started out with both of us trading 2 layers of poison spikes, and constantly,
you guys were just living out that Spider-Man meme.
Constantly throughout the entire battle, swapping Mon out and then swapping our poison types back in to clear the poison spikes and then lay down more poison spikes on the other side.
That's funny.
So that was interesting. There were a lot of swaps in this. The Acelgor was definitely a problem. The Alolan Grimer was actually really, really tough to take down for my team because he had Black Sludge, which heals him every single turn.
Yeah.
And I had nothing that was super effective versus him, really. And he had, he used like 3 or 4 Moo Moo Milk throughout the battle to max his Pokemon back off. So I ended up beating it on my first try, but with a total of 16 HP left on my Araquanid as my old Pokemon left.
Dang.
So beat James, got the Black Embor renamed to the Black Venom.
Which if I gotta,
appropriate.
Yeah, if I gotta admit, that's actually pretty sick.
That is a pretty good game. Yeah, pretty good.
The more acidic version of the Black Sludge that Lolan Grimer was holding.
Right. Yep. Got TM workup from James's brother. And then I also had to backtrack for the Zygarde because I had enough of the Zygarde cells. I did not even name the Zygarde because it was just going in the box and I wasn't going to use it. Got the Litleo from, I think it was Route 2.
Yeah, I think it was Route 2.
Which was a female, so I named it Nala. And then went back for the egg, and I also had a Skorupi.
Nice.
So I went ahead and picked that up, named it Sting. It has its hidden ability Kenai, and I stuffed it in the box to not be used. So
nice.
Yep.
You should have named it It's Sting.
Every time he comes out, you sing a Sting song.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You have to go that route as well.
Yeah. Just do all the Sting references. Yeah. So we got cut here, and you could also do some backtracking with cut. But progressing the story, we head south below Crater Town. Wait, no.
Well, you seem a bit lost here.
Yes, I am. It's been a couple weeks.
Right. So like he said, we started off leaving the KBT Expressway or the gym or wherever it is we left off at and started heading south. But as soon as we got to the trees, we get jumped by the Shadows minions.
Yes.
Right. And they take us back to what is it called? Cinder Volcano. And we finally get to meet the leader of Shadow, and his name is Seth. And him and Ivory are sitting there looking us down, trying to get information from us, but we don't talk at all. All right. And Seth like, okay, Ivory, go ahead and take him down. Ivory's like, I can't believe Marlon's been having an issue with you. I'm a dispatch of you. So we have a one-on-one battle with her. Now, me personally, because I smacks her, in which you guys will find out later on that, you know, she is my actual true rival. But did you guys have any issues with her?
No.
None whatsoever. Great.
Venom said, I see the Nom flashback glaze over his eyes.
The Misdreavus was a problem. So the let's see, she was Misdreavus level 27, Volibee 26, and Kadabra level 28, and Cat in the background. Misdreavus had Will-O-Wisp, Hex, Mean Look, and Confuse Ray, and was causing a lot of problems for my basically all physical attacking team at the time. Ivory actually managed to take out Blue, Bags, and Dumbledore. With her 3 Pokemon took out 3 of mine, which then, of course, leads us into the next part of it.
Hello, Kitty.
Yeah. So Treebeard, my Phantump, had not the exact same moveset you just described, but had Hex and Will-O-Wisp, and I had a lot of fun with those.
Nice.
Hit them with a nice solid burn, and then of course Hex does extra damage if they're status effect. So yeah, man, I could imagine the pain you were experiencing, especially reducing your attack on top of it. Yeah, that's rough.
And Confuse Ray, my Pokemon, again with the modifiers, I'm assuming Confusion is a little bit higher chance of just punching yourself in the face. So,
and then they smack you with the
never put in,
and you can't even retreat. That's just cruel.
Yep, exactly. So,
but yeah, I ain't have no trouble with her in this battle. Leroy Jenkins just pretty much handled everybody. Like Misdreavus tried to hang around. Confused him. He snapped out the next turn and got a crit, took it out. And Volibee and Kadabra, they just got taken care of. Leroy Jenkins, he's a beast. But yeah, after we dispatch of her, Seth is disappointed and says that he and his Houndoom will handle us. Now, Mikey, was there a surprise for you in this part right here?
No.
It was not. Venom, so you understand the pain that I went through.
The difficulty of this one? Yes.
Yes. He has one Pokemon on his team, and that is Mega Houndoom. Listen, that thing. Now, him healing and burning Leroy and critting, my God.
This was
on top, but still.
This was a funny conversation in Discord where we're planning, just if you're not in the Discord, you probably haven't heard, but the interstitial we're planning on doing at the end of season 7 is another tournament with our community members. And as always, we're ironing out the rules and stuff, so we're not going to do legendaries. But then Venom's like, what about mega evolutions? I was like, I didn't even know mega evolutions are in here. And he's like, wait, you mean the gym leaders and stuff they're not mega evolving? And I'm like, nope.
Right. He decided to take the route where it's all flowers and sunshines and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I got
we
stuff
are in
to do.
Legitimate war here, Venom.
So you don't get to heal after the Ivory battle. So I'm going against a level 29 Mega Houndoom with 3 Pokemon that are
it was
3
29 for
levels
you?
below him. Yeah,
it was 33 for me.
I'm sure you were much higher for the gym though, right? Yeah, because it scales based on your level. So all of my Pokemon were only like level 26, 27 yet at this point. So, but I brought out my Metang first and managed to land 3 Flash before dying to the Fire Fangs. The first Flash hit and managed to make him miss a couple of Fire Fangs. And then got off 1 hit from Sandy, my Araquanid, which took him pretty low. And then Spike was able to actually finish him off. So I managed it through that battle with only 1 Pokemon left as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like I said, like it wasn't too difficult in terms of like he wiped out my whole team, but the fact that Leroy Jenkins couldn't get the job done because this Houndoom is just such a monster. Just oh my god. Pauls came in and got rid of it with a couple of force palms, you know, but that thing is tanky and it hits like a truck. My God. So for all of you that are playing along with us and are like me and Venom and going to war, I hope the battle went better for you.
Yeah, and man, I feel bad because like on top of that, I know you've been streaming Luminescent Platinum, and that's been kind of also kicking you in the shins. So
yeah. In which that's why I said Ivory becomes my rival, because Alakazam has become the menace for me in both games.
Oh no.
But the one thing that I didn't mention was before I battled with Ivory, Hoopa actually popped out of the hole from bleeding down below. And I guess it sat there and watched the battle. But by the time we got done with Ivory, it was gone. And so after the battle with Seth, a grunt comes running up saying that a monster has appeared down below. So Seth have all of the grunts run off, and he tells Ivory to heal her and his Pokemon so they can go handle it. Ivory's like, well, what do we do about, you know, this person right here? He's like, we ain't worried about them because we already know the information, because Marlon wasn't here because he was snooping around getting information on Jax. Found out that Jax is the grandson of Arthur. But he also mentioned another person's name, and that person is
Faye.
I think I got it. Yeah, Faye. He says that due to how they are, they shouldn't have any interaction out in the public. So apparently Faye and Arthur don't go out in the world a lot, but Faye is the one who created the Shadow Warriors. And that's the reason why they want to get down there and save the Shadow Warriors before Faye finds out and gets upset about what's going on. So I'm guessing she don't know that they bad guys.
Right. Yeah, well, and I don't know, because Faye, they're hiding something from Faye, whether that be that the Shadow Warriors are bad, but they don't want Faye and Arthur to talk to each other because Arthur will fill Faye in on what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. But once they head out, Hooper pops back in, and instead of saying anything to us, he just opens up another portal and shoots us back
again.
Right. Well, this time he actually saved us and sent us back to the KBT Expressway, and we pop out in front of an old hiker who's like, well, you see all kind of crazy stuff every day, huh?
Yeah, he's like, oh, so by the way, here's Cut.
Right, yeah, you know, after we explained to him what's going on, he like, well, look, you won't be able to go this way because the ceiling fell in like a couple of minutes before you got here. So here go the move Cut. Go take the underground pathway to get to Blizzard City. My homie there, he's gonna hook you up with the Rock Smash HM, so you'll be able to get through. So now we got a detour and head up to Blizzard City.
Yes. Thank you for filling us in there. Cool thing about this game when it comes to HMs, you don't have to actually teach them to Pokemon. As long as you have one on your team that could learn the move, it'll just use it, which is awesome. I love it when games do that because I hate wasting precious ability or move slots for these terrible moves, just to move around the world. But yeah, so cut in hand, we are heading to Blizzard City, but first we must go through Valley Cave, then to Route 6 and 7. It's actually a pretty long trek here.
Right.
Did you guys catch any Pokemon on these 3 routes? Have any interesting battles? Anything happen to your team on the way to Blizzard City that you want to talk about?
Okay, so as soon as I got cut, I knew I wanted to backtrack because of the sign that's on Route 5. So I cut down the tree that's there, went and found the hidden grotto.
About the grotto?
Yeah. And which comes out is a Dynamax layer. Yep. So you go in there, and the way the Dynamax battles work in this game, rather than you and 4 random NPCs, is you and an NPC of your choice out of 3 that they have 3 members on their team. You pick 3 members from your team, and you both go into the battle, and it's like a double battle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But after that part, it acts just like a normal Dynamax battle. I don't think we can Dynamax though. I'm not sure. Battles haven't lasted that long for me to actually see. But in the first one, I got a Nidorino that I named Big Boy. Might make the team.
Nice. Did you do this, Venom?
I did not. I know they exist. I have not done any of them yet. Nope. I did some backtracking, but I did not look at any of the grottos.
I only found the one that Kumino is referencing, and I'm not sure if there are other ones.
I found the one on Route 9 later on, and what is it, the autumnal forest or whatever. I found the grottos on both of those locations, but I said no to going into them. So I know where they're at. I haven't done any of them.
Yeah, I only did this.
It should be one on each route that you go to after this.
Oh, right. Okay, sweet. So I did the first one, and it was a Yanma, and I didn't even really bother trying to catch it or anything. But it is a cool little feature that they added into the game.
Right.
I'm gonna have to keep my eye out and see if I can spot those other ones. Any catches besides Nidorino for you, Kumino?
I mean, I did make 2 catches in the cave, but they're not going to be on the team, so I don't even want to mention them. Route 6 didn't really have a lot of story, but I did the hidden grotto there and got a Luxio, named it Liga Zero. It does make the team, but it makes the team later on.
Nice. Venom, anything of note for you?
Let's see here. So I did go back after you informed Kumino and I that KBT Expressway does indeed have Pokemon. So I went back and got myself a Noibat, which I named Echo. Let's see. And then I've got a couple once we get to Frost Mountain later on, but nothing in Valley Cave, Route 6, or Route 7. In Route, in Valley Cave's where we went first, right?
Yep.
Did you guys find the hidden button in the rock?
Yeah, I did.
No.
And when you there's a random rock closer to the end of the cave, and I'm sure, Venom, you found this the same way I did, where you see a rock and then you're like, oh, there's probably a hidden item on it. You got to check every rock. Exactly. So I go over there and it's like, oh, there's an ancient button here. Would you like to press it? And I'm like, sure. Nothing happened though.
Yep. Did you figure it out later, or have you not figured it out yet?
I haven't figured it out yet. I figured it was probably something I'm gonna need something later on from the game to access. Did you figure it out?
You can do the next step if you talk to one of the guys later on. He gives you a clue on how to do the next step, but you cannot progress further until you have wall climb.
Okay.
So you can figure out how to press the button, but you need to talk to someone in the cave and then figure out what their clue is to go back and press the button.
Okay, so I gotta go press a button and talk to a guy and be able to climb walls like Spider-Man. Got it.
Yep.
That's right. Yep. So in Valley Cave, I caught a Fampy named Dumbo. So like I said in the last episode, I caught everything available on all the routes, and then using my system of determining the best statistical Pokemon, these are the ones that are potential team members and thrown into the box. So the Fampy named Dumbo from Valley Cave. On Route 6, Bunnelby named Doug was my strongest. And Route 7, a Doduo named Stooge was my strongest. While on Route 6, Kai James evolved into Pupitar, which is nice. And Squidward evolved into Malamar, which was also nice. So starting to get a few evolutions. Like you guys said, though, there's no story elements here on the way to Blizzard City.
Because I mean, the only thing that happened on Route 6 is you finally get to see the Terra Grand Bulls. They're blocking off.
Right.
A way to Route 10.
And it's that leads into a fun little side quest later on.
Yeah, it does. On Route 7, we get a cutscene with Ivory telling some grunts about some new orders that come from Seth to tighten up security on Route 9 and to stop Jack because he's seen flying over Route 9. She leaves things to the grunts as she goes to what is called Frost Mountain. Yeah, that's what it is. To set up a psychic barrier to put over the route.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On Route 7 too, you get the old rod for all of you who want a Magikarp. But continuing on the journey, we get to Frost Mountain. And as soon as we get into the mountain, we are treated with a fun rival battle.
Whoa. You actually missing something, Mike. Like Venom said, if we get a cutscene, as soon as we walk into Frost Mountain, you see our rival Vinny and Ivory. And Vinny is attempting to stop her and get information from her about his parents and stuff of that nature. But Ivory has no time for it. And she whips out her Alakazam. And her Alakazam just, I don't know what it does to Vinny. But he just rolls backwards and you see his ghost floating over it. I was like,
some Pokemon on human violence happening here.
Yeah.
Playing a little too much Legend Arceus.
That's right. The Alakazam, it really is no joke. But yeah, right before I got to him, I ended up having a wild battle and I knocked out something. I don't know what I knocked out. But Boot evolved into Cilio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Also, this is just my way to get you to actually host this season. Is by skipping all the important stuff.
hey, it works out. It works out. But yeah, so after that, we walk over, and Vinny is happy that we revive him, and he finds out that we also got beef with the Shadow Steel and stuff of that nature. So he wanted to see, have we truly gotten stronger? So we have a battle with him.
I feel like after what we just witnessed, though, we should be seeing if he got any stronger.
Exactly. You know what I mean? The one that I had the problem with in this battle was the Toucannon.
I suppose you were so high. It was still a Trumbeak for me because I'm so much lower of a level.
Okay. Well, yeah. So it beat up Cilio. It put a whooping on Leroy Jenkins, but he was finally able to put it down.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the one that gave me trouble in that battle.
It's actually such a cool looking Pokemon. I like Toucanon.
Yeah. Yeah, Toucanon is a nice looking, mean, grumpy Pokemon that will beat you up.
Yes. So of course, I'm playing on easy story mode, so my battle with Denim was nothing really to mention. Venom, was this a manageable battle for you?
This one was quite manageable. He was actually, like I said, what didn't have any of the final evolutions yet, because I'm like 6 levels lower than Kumino apparently at this point. The Trumbeak still was a problem because it did have Roost. Roost, and I kept getting hit by 5 Rock Blasts.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, but I brought in Dumbledore, who has weak armor, and every level of Rock Blast boosts his speed. So he maxed out Dumbledore's speed. So Dumbledore got two power gems off in a row, which was enough to take out the Trumbeak and took him down. And then the only other thing of note is that I brought out my Nidorino to fight the Gabite and knocked out the Gabite. Hit me first. I knocked out the Gabite, and Rough Skin killed Spike, so no one got the experience for killing the Gabite.
Oh,
I hate it when that happens.
Sucks.
Rough Skin came in clutch for me in 2 battles in this game.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Man. But yeah, after that, Vinny, he takes the loss well. He ain't upset about it. He admits that he still need to get stronger and stuff of that nature. But he just walks off after we kick his butt. So I guess he has no qualms with getting I don't know what Alakazam did to it, but whatever it did, I guess he's okay.
Or he's not okay, and this is a sign.
Right. One of the two. But yeah, make the way through the cave. It's a typical cave where you have encounters and a couple of battles and some hidden items and stuff of that nature. But nothing really crazy happens here. I get an Onyx and a Cryogonal, but they're not going to make the team. What about you guys? You got something that's going to make your team?
I grabbed a Sneasel, which I named Logan, because I have never used that line before. So possibly later on thinking about adding it.
I Sneasel was the strongest Pokemon I caught in Frost Mountain, so that goes in the box. I named it Count. But I did have some cool nicknames in the next couple routes that I just want to talk about. That made me really sad that I can't use these Pokemon.
Why you can't use them?
Because they weren't the strongest one. Okay, just let me play by my totally arbitrary rules. Okay, Kumino. I've been watching a lot of Star Wars because of Andor, so Star Wars is fresh on the mind. Go check out our Showboys season on Andor. It's been awesome. I caught an Onyx and named it Obi-Wanix.
Nice.
I caught Bronzor, which of course I had to name Dong from season 1. If you know, you know. In Route 8, I caught a Snover named Jon Snover from Game of Thrones. And then, well, that's in Blizzard City, so we'll save that. But the strongest Pokemon on Route 8 was actually Flaffy that I named Jasmine. After Jasmine from Johto. But on this journey to Blizzard City, my Simba, my Litleo evolved into Pyroar, and I made the fatal mistake of not realizing that it was actually female when I named it Simba. So at this point, I changed the name to Nala. So Venom and I both have a female Litleo / Pyroar named Nala. Nice. Which reminds me, you guys were talking about the stat checker or whatever the official name is It's the item in game, right?
Yep.
And I was like, what the heck are they talking about? So I went back and there was no option for me to get it. And then I was like, it's probably, I didn't think this. I was told this by the aide. It's like, oh yeah, if you were if you were playing on hard, I would give you the stat checker item. But since you're not playing on hard, it doesn't matter if you know the stats. And I was like, dang, bro, that's so messed up. So I changed it to hard and got it, and then changed it back to easy, and I still kept it. So now I can see, so now I can see all the stats and stuff. And in that, you can rename your Pokemon in that stat checker menu. Yep. So I went in there and renamed it to Nala. But I was like, first off, rude. Okay. I do care about stats. I just don't care about agonizingly hard battles. Okay. Don't judge me.
Right. He does not want to get his cheeks clapped. That's all it is. He want to do the cheek clapping rather than have his clap.
Exactly. See, you get it.
Yeah. I totally get it. I'm the same way. But yeah, like he said, nothing of note happens on Route 8.
Just a real long snowy route.
Yeah. In all honesty, it ain't even really that long. It's just that you have some battles that stop you along the way. Other than that, it's okay. Venom, did you catch anything? You caught the Sneasel here, right?
I caught the Sneasel in the K in Frost Mountain first, but there were more Sneasel on the route, which I actually used Route 8 because there were several attack EV Pokemon on the route. So I did a bit of a training arc on this section here because the next gym I think was coming up in Blizzard City, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So I had looked up the level I was shooting for was level 32 for Blizzard City. So I did a pretty big training arc on Route 8. Got my Spike, my Nidorino. I was waiting on level up to level 31 to learn Horn Attack. And then as soon as I hit level 31, I had found a Moonstone. So nice. Nidorino is now a Nidoking, which unfortunately, apparently in this game, when you level up Nidorino to Nidoking, it learns Chip Away, which is a normal move that does 5 more damage than Horn Attack. So I could have had a Nidoking like 5 levels before that. And yeah, so basically got my whole team up to the level 31, 32 range where I wanted to be for the gym.
Nice.
Good work there. I did a training montage myself, but you'll hear about that later. Yeah, but on arrival in Blizzard City, it's a guy there that if you talk to him, he'll give you Castelia stone cone. So that's a nice pickup item right there. But also, I immediately go ahead to the Pokemon Center because my team is a little bit beat down. Heal them up. And outside of the Pokemon Center, it's a Staraptor that will take you back to Crater Town if you want to go back there for whatever reason, backtracking or whatever. It's a few buildings here that you can go in and get a whole bunch of great stuff. I got some information on I don't even know how to pronounce this name. Alala,
sure,
whatever her name is. She's over the PC system. And Alice, and Alice, who is the gym leader. A dude, he gives you an Eviolite. He wants to see a Pokemon that can still evolve. So I showed him Boost, and he gave it to me. And a couple of other buildings, like I said, you pick up some good stuff. Got the Version Seeker. Karate dude taught Paul's Ice Punch. So now Paul's and got TM118 Aurora Veil from another guy.
There's a few side quests here too.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. I got a side quest to pick up a missing little boy, in which he's back on Route 8 behind a tree that you can cut that just has an empty lot. That's where he's at. And all you gotta do is get him back to the entrance of Blizzard City, and he goes off back by himself. But when you go back to her, she gives you TM27 in return. And of course, I taught it to Pauls because Pauls loves me.
I wouldn't imagine it any other way.
Right. But once you start to go deeper into town, we get a scene with Ivory reporting to Seth that she successfully put a barrier over Route 9, and Seth gives her another order and tells her to head back. So she does, but before she leaves, she ices over the KBT expressway in this city because she doesn't want Vinny to follow her. In which I'm not sure why she's afraid of Vinny. Alakazam clearly mind raped him, and like he ain't even worried about it no more.
Yeah.
But to the far left of the city, Alice's daughter, she wants to trade you a Onyx for a Electroid to help you with her mother's gym.
Yeah.
What you about to say?
There is another side quest here that I did. Somebody stole this lady's Pokemon, so you have to go through the frozen forest to find this burglar. And when you do, you find him, and it was, he stole her Alolan Vulpix, or was it Ninetales? I forget. It was
Ninetales.
You battle him, and he, goes to return it. But after the battle's over, like there's a big roar or something. And if you may have noticed on your way to finding the burglar, in the middle of the forest is a sleeping Crabominable. And after this battle, he wakes up, and then you fight him, and this is your only chance to catch this static one. I don't know if this Pokemon is probably available somewhere else in a wild encounter, but this specific one. So I caught it and named it Lorenzo after Lorenzo Hunt, the bare knuckle fighting championship boxer, very angry and powerful, just like Crabominable. But if you go back to the Lady in Complete side quest, she gives you an egg, which is an Alolan Vulpix, which I, of course, took because I love Alolan Ninetales. Super cool Pokemon. Hatched that egg and named the Alolan Vulpix Ahsoka, following the whole Star Wars thing. I was very proud of that one. But Ahsoka didn't make the team because I have Stella, the Alolan Sandshrew, as my ice type.
So that's where my training montage come in at. I was going to mention that because I did all of that and hatched the egg, and I named it Tangula. From it's Chinese. That's the only thing I can tell you. it means it means China. Snow goddess or something like that there. But yeah, so I went a few places, but Route 8, like he said, it got attacked EVs there, and I got some for a few of my other team members. But the training montage was so long because I'm worried. I'm like, okay, I need to get it to the point to where it learns what I was looking for, Dazzling Gleam or something of that nature. I can't remember what I was looking for, but I wanted to get it up to that level before I evolved it. And like he said, upon evolution, you learn Dazzling Gleam. So,
oh no. You had yourself a Nidoking story.
Right. I'm like, I did all of this for nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice. As well as, I didn't even. I spoiled it early. I didn't even get to use it in the gym. I did all of that training, expecting to use it in the gym. Didn't even use it in the gym. It didn't even touch the battlefield.
Oh no! Did you get this egg Venom?
I did not.
No.
He let the cat hatch.
I'm very upset about that because I also love Alolan Vulpix. I did none of the missions except I did go back and caught an Onyx to get the Electrode.
Nice.
And then skipped all of the other missions until I did the pie one later on.
Did you put the electrode on the team for the gym?
I did not, but I did steal the amulet coin from it.
That's where amulet coin is. So I got to go back and get that. I need money.
Yeah. I stole the amulet coin, and it has helped me a lot later on. Because by the time you make it to Gym 4, you start needing to buy items really bad.
Yeah. But did any of you guys take on Candace while you was here? Because Candace from Snow Point City in Sinnoh is on vacation here.
Yeah, she's chilling in one of the apartments.
Yeah. Well, in the hallway of the apartment, but yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird place to just hang out. But there she is.
Yeah, just chilling. And, you know, she was like, hey, you know, I see you got gym badges. I'm not the gym leader here, but, you know, we can battle if you want to. I got to stay focused.
Yeah. Is it a repeatable battle? If I'm remembering right, you can do it like every day.
Battle her once a day.
Yeah.
Did you guys fight the miner that was standing outside the KBT?
Worker Allen? Yeah, I fought Worker Allen.
Yeah, I fought him.
I clapped his cheeks because he irritated me. I was like, I'm thinking you're going to give me an item because everybody else in this town been so nice, and now you want to come and fight. Like the Candace fight was nice. Like I was like, oh, Candace is here. That's dope. You just a dude. You supposed to be working. You telling some you bored? Oh no. I immediately smashed him. I ain't have no time for it.
That was part of my training arc because I think all of his Pokemon give like defense and special defense. So I used him to get a few of my Pokemon up to the level 32 as well.
Okay. But it's the house that's behind him is where you get is it Rock Smash? Yeah, it's Rock Smash. Yeah, that's where you get the TM HM06 for Rock Smash. But yeah, you guys, y'all can explore the city as much as you like. It's a bunch of stuff. I actually like it here. But let's go ahead and get to the gym.
Yeah. Did
anybody have any trouble at any point in the gym?
The only note I have here before we get to the gym is in one of the let's see. Or was this later on when you were talking to Alice? When do they talk about Eros and the origin of Lizard City?
It's a person that tells you about the legend of Eros building the city because other flying type trainers wanted to be up there and stuff of that nature.
Right. Yeah, so they said that Eros and his partner helped build Blizzard City in under a year. I'm assuming the partner was Rayquaza yet from the original one. But
I'm assuming his partner had to be Hoopa.
Oh, really?
It makes more sense for it to be Hoopa because of some other stories that they talk about. He had other legendaries.
Okay.
So it had to be Hoopa bringing those legendaries to this universe. And they
so did you talk to someone that said you look like Eros?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering because the Professor Log way back in the beginning mentioned that our dad liked to help people. Are we supposed to be Eros's son?
I think Eros lived quite a while. If anything, he would be our grandfather
of him, perhaps.
Yeah. Interesting. I like it.
Because apparently we look a lot like Eros.
I do think it's really cool, like to get those little nuggets in each of the city, and it's not like they're how do I say this? Like you're not getting that exposition from like main character NPCs. They're just like people in houses, and you'll only get those if you're exploring and talking to everyone, which I think is really cool because it makes each part of this region feel a little more alive, where like you're rewarded with something of substance by exploring. And as a player, that's always refreshing to play in a world that feels like it has some substance to it, right? Other than just the gameplay loop, right?
So now Of course, Jared probably knows nothing of this stuff.
Oh yeah,
he just flies through.
Yeah.
Love you though, Jared. Love you.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We're here to tell Jared what he's playing.
Yes, here to tell him the story that he's been missing. And then the only other note that I have was then I know someone else, one of the grunts that you battle at some point mentions something about how kids are horrible and they can't imagine ever having kids. And then they also mentioned that they can't believe someone like Zeph would have a child.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, again, with the are we related to Eros thing, I'm curious, is our rival Zeph or one of the leaders' kids in the shadows?
I'm thinking Ivory is Vinny's mom and Zeph is Vinny's dad.
Yep, yeah, because that seems like he's looking for. Well, and then the other perhaps foreshadowing was when you battle James in the KBT Expressway, you're looking for that guy's brother, and James, the leader of the gang, ends up being the brother you were looking for and comes back with you. So I'm wondering if that's a little bit of foreshadowing that your rival.
It seems like they like doing stuff like that.
Involved, right? Yeah,
I like it. You know what wasn't foreshadowing, and that was the environment of Blizzard City here with the gym type.
Right.
Which I thought was actually pretty cool. Were you guys shocked to find out that it wasn't an ice type gym?
Yeah, not really. It actually was a breath of fresh air because it made a lot of sense that we're supposed to be up on a mountain and find out that it's flying type gym. You're like, oh, okay, bird type turns. They like high and stuff of that nature. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Then especially when you inside the gym, you find out what the battlefield is going to be. It is tailwind set up for the entire battle. So all of these trainers, they automatically have a speed advantage on you going into here, unless you're going to be using a flying type yourself.
Yeah. Very cool. I love the thematic stuff that they're doing here.
Yeah. And the puzzle, it was unique with fans in the floor to take you up to the next graded floor.
Yep.
And then when you finally do get ready to reach Alice, she's on a higher floor and you got to take another fan up to go to that. So that was neat.
Yeah, super cool.
In which they said that she is working on trying to get it to where people of the city can fly. So I don't know if she's trying to use that whole schematic in the gym for the whole city or whatnot.
Now she's doing have you guys ever seen the movie Tusk from Kevin Smith? If not, look it up. She's doing that with the citizens of Blizzard City, except sewing wings on them so they can fly.
Okay.
If you've seen Tusk, you'll understand.
Like when you said Tusk, the only thing I could think about was the video game.
Oh. No, some obscure Kevin Smith movie that is very weird. But yeah, anyways. Did you guys have any problems with old Alice here?
Yeah, I already know what I'm going to talk about. So for me, Alice led off the battle with her Dodrio, and I led in with Liga Zero. And then she swapped out for the Glasgow. And then the Glasgow killed Liga Zero. And then the Dodrio came back in. So I was like, okay, I'm going to use Boot. And then Mega Pinsir came out and raped me.
Mega Pinsir?
Mega Pinsir.
Yes. Oh, with Tailwind. She didn't have Pinsir for me.
Mega Pinsir with Tailwind. It was mean.
Man, like that thing. Oh my God. So I lost the battle on the first go.
Okay.
Came back with a vengeance. It still beat me up pretty bad. The last one standing was, of course, Leroy Jenkins. Because I gave him Rock Tomb.
Nice.
So yeah, because at the Pokemart, they sell TMs.
Yes, they
I
do.
bought all of them.
Very nice.
Yeah, Venom. How did yours go, man?
So I come in with a full team of 30 level 32s. I have not swapped anyone at this point. Being a flying gym, I did take that Eviolite and put it on Dumbledore right away because he's my rock type. I have an amulet coin on one of my Pokemon, and then a black belt on Bags, my Scraggy. She had, for me, with being all 32s, she had a Minior level 31, Gliscor level 31, Pinsir 33, Dodrio 32, and Crobat 32. And she actually led with Minior versus me, and I led with Dumbledore. And like the James battle, we traded Stealth Rocks immediately. So now we are dealing with hazards right off
He
the
like,
get-go.
okay, I got this strategy.
Yeah.
And they like, we know what your strategy is.
Yeah.
And we're gonna use it on you.
Yeah, they're gonna do the exact same thing to me. So yep. Let's see, and then the Minior was annoying because it had confuse ray or something like that. The Gliscor had knockoff, so the Gliscor came in and took the Eviolite off of my freaking Dumbledore right away. So I lost all the defenses there. The Pinsir coming out and turning Mega was a bit scary because the Exciser was hitting hard on things it really shouldn't be hitting hard on. And then we battled back and forth quite a bit. I ended up using so in my playthrough, I think because of the difficulty, you're actually limited to only being able to use 4 items per battle.
Yeah.
So I actually hit that limit. I ended up needing to revive Blue, I think twice in this battle. Blue, my Manectric, and my Manectric. I actually during my training arc, I put 250 speed EVs on it prior to the gym. So I was actually outspeeding a couple of their Mon, but the Pinsir
with the tailwind.
Yeah, just because
Pinsir becomes a flying type.
Yeah, I'm assuming some of theirs were not speed EV'd. Is the only thing I can imagine is that some of them were other, because the gyms obviously have EVs and stuff on them, but I think the main one I think was just the Minior I outsped.
Yeah, because Crobat didn't outspeed anything.
Right.
So, the
Crobat definitely outsped Blue because it hit me with a Venoshock.
I'm talking about my Crobat.
Oh, your Crobat. Gotcha. No, her Crobat was outsped me by a lot, but I was able to get the no, I guess Minior did actually outspeed me. It hit me with an ancient power. So I made it down to let's see here. She had Gliscor, Crobat, and Minior left, and the only Pokemon I had left was Blue. I sacrificed Dumbledore to bring to revive or throw a super potion on Blue to get him back to 90% HP. And came back out. The Stealth Rock left me with 75, total of 75 HP. But I was able to do a quick attack on the Gliscor, Shockwave plus quick attack to take out the Crobat, and then beat the Minior and had 10 HP left on Blue at the end of the battle. So for the third straight major battle, I am left with a single Pokemon in the red.
All right, this is the first time that I had a rough battle like that. Because like I said, in the first battle, like I couldn't use the Alola Ninetales. Like it came out at the end just to get beat up because like the strategy for it was because it had Snow Warning as its ability. I was just going to use Aurora Veil to just, I got Reflect and Light Screen set up with just Aurora Veil.
Right.
That's what I was going to use it for, really. But couldn't, because everything was outspeeding.
Right.
Like he said, Minior had Ancient Power, Gliscor had Fire Fang, Dodrio had Steel Wing. Like, wasn't no point.
Yeah.
Just monsters, all of them, man.
The Gliscor on mine also had Acrobatics with a Flying Gem. That O-code. So someone that wasn't even super effective versus just O-code instantly, was not expecting
O-code Crobat.
Oh, really? On yours?
Ooh. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I took out the Doduo and the Gliscor with Stella. Knows Ice Ball, so just basically the ice version rollout. Set that up. Minior did end up beating Stella, so then I threw out E-Honda and took it out with an Ice Punch because I taught an Ice Punch from the town there. But yeah, with the Blizzard City gym badge in hand, it is time to progress. Like Kumino said, in the city, we do get Rock Smash at a house. So now we're able to use Rock Smash to help us get through the KBT tunnel and other areas that we were not able to do. Before I progressed in the story, though, I decided to backtrack and go pick up the different items that I didn't get before with Cut and Rock Smash. And this is actually where I went and found the first hidden grotto with the Yanma. Did you guys do anything before progressing in the story?
No, I went ahead and progressed. Venom, did you do anything? I want to say
the only note that I have is while I was passing back through Crater Town, the ball boy in the Pokemart there now trades Great Balls for Ultra Balls.
Yeah, it's very nice.
So I was making sure each day as I logged in to run back and trade a Great Ball for an Ultra Ball just to have it.
Yeah, love that. I love that feature.
Yeah.
Okay, so once you leave the gym, Alice stops you because she want to take you to the KBT Expressway and show you that it's blocked off. She has her Gliscor hump the ice wall into submission. Like I'm typing and stuff, and I look up and Gliscor is just, and I'm like, what is going on? What is the Gliscor doing to the wall? Doesn't that hurt? Because you should be quad weak to.
Oh my gosh, that's true. I never thought about that. Man, he must have been there for a while, just like not doing very effective damage to it.
Well, hey, he broke it down, so the powerful thrust, I guess.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. You can get to your mic.
No, that's fine. Were there any story beats between here and heading to Fallshore City?
I don't think so.
You essentially take the KBT Expressway. You go through, hit Crater City, go through there, hit the other KBT Expressway, bust the rocks open, come around, and you come out at Fallshore City. Do y'all want to talk about this, or you want me to talk about it?
Go ahead.
All right, so like I said, once you get there, once you come out of the cave, you're like, what the heck? You see Ivory this time talking to Jax, and Jax uses his Star Raptor to try to get a cheap shot on the Alakazam. I guess, Jax like, I'm gonna beat you in battle. And I was like, I don't have time for you. She has Alakazam pick Jax up, and it looks like Jax is moonwalking across there. He's like, I can't control my body. And she just yeets him into the lake. And it was funny because you just see Staraptor going, oh shit. And I'm talking about, like, I know she sees us because we're not far. Like, it's like we come out and they're right there. So she sees us. She just doesn't say anything and she goes by her way. Because this has to be embarrassing for Jax, like, we don't even attempt. Well, I don't know. Maybe somebody felt, sorry for him. Like, oh, let me jump in. I was like, well, that's tough, my guy. And I tried to go on, but he comes out of the lake and he's complaining. And then when he noticed us, he's like, you didn't see that, did it? Nah, I ain't see nothing, man.
Yeah, what are you talking? Where'd you come from? I don't even. What?
Right. But he explained the situation that there's a barrier up on Route 9 and he can't get there. And he would like us to assist him in finding a way to get to Route 9. Now, they actually give you the option to say yes or no in this particular situation. Because I'm a nice guy, I said yes. But did anybody say no?
I said yes. I couldn't turn down Jax after he just got yeeted into the ocean or lake or whatever.
Right. You feel bad for him,
Yeah.
As well as at this point, you don't think it'll be that bad because he's looking for a secret pathway. So you like, okay, it got to be something that's gonna be quick and easy. But he gives you some max repels and tell you that you need to take Route 10 to get there. Mm-hmm. Do y'all immediately go into doing that, or do y'all explore the city first?
Oh no, I explore the city.
Yeah, definitely.
There we go.
Like, always explore. I'll help you, but it's on my terms, buddy.
Yeah,
right. Right, because you keep me from doing my mission because I have a mission myself.
That's right.
But yeah, explore the city. I pick up some items. I get an egg from the egg lady. I put it in my party because I don't know what it is.
Did you hatch it?
Hidden? Yeah, I ended up hatching it. Ended up being a Togepi that I had another training montage with. That I needed it to learn Dazzling Gleam before I leveled it up. In this particular case, though, it didn't learn Dazzling Gleam on evolution. So I'm okay with that.
Did you name it Big News?
No, I did not name it Big News. I actually named it Michael.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You're so
definitely not after yourself.
No, it wasn't.
This is White Mike. This is White Mike.
That's true.
White.
That's true. That's true.
There you go. I should name it White Mike. There we go. But yeah, you get hidden power from the guy next door to her. You get a couple of missions where one of the missions is the cop. He needs help with the Grand Bull gang. So that's where that come in play at. But instead of going to Route 10 after exploring town, I go to Route 11 to train. That's actually where Togepi hatched at. And hit up Epitome Town, which is the next town over. Like, I crap you guys not, like, just walking, it's like 4 minutes. If that. Like, not even 4 minutes. What, 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just right over there. And talking to the people there, I got the Strength HM, I got the Good Rod, Rocky Helmet, and I promised to help a homeless man find a house.
Yeah, same. I get talked into a lot of things.
I have not gone that direction yet, so I will need to do that.
Yeah, you can also trade for a Hitmontop here. I forget exactly what it is you trade for it, but yeah, it's in Epitome Town.
Yeah, but you try to go to the gym. The gym leader is gone, so you gotta go and do the rest of the stuff. So once you hit Route 10, you're stopped by the Terra Grand Bull mess that's going on.
Yeah,
in which their leader Gruff, he makes a valid point. He's like, "Hey guys, it's 2 of them and 6 of us. What are you doing?" Because they all as soon as they see the cop, they just all bolt. They just all run away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could have jumped them. So we end up having to find them. You go around Route 10 trying to find them. I did do another den, but I didn't catch it. I can't remember what it was that I fought because I didn't write it down. Whatever it was disappointing. I didn't want it.
Yeah, it's kind of how I felt about Yanma. I didn't find the den here, so I'll have to go back and look. But I did like the biker gang quest here. That was pretty fun. I picked up the good rod, and up until this point, I haven't been fishing because you can only catch Magikarp with the old rod. So I went back to Fallshore City and did some fishing, and Carvana was the strongest Pokemon I caught, named it Jaws. And while I was in Fallshore City, I was just looking through my bag, and at this point, I had not evolved my Alolan Sandshrew or my Phantump, and honestly, I didn't know how Phantump evolved, and I forgot how Alolan Sandshrew evolved, but turns out they're stone evolutions, and I had an Ice Stone and a Leaf Stone, so Stella evolved into an Alolan Sandslash, and Treebeard is now a Trevenant, which is pretty cool. Nice. And upon evolution, I believe, if not upon evolution, shortly thereafter I evolved, Treebeard learned Horn Leech, which is pretty cool, a little lifesteal grass move. On Route 11, which is between Fallshore and Epitome Town, to the east of Fallshore, my strongest catch was Gulpin that I named Kirby. And I also did get the Rocky Helmet too, which is one of my favorite items now on one of my Pokemon. I can't remember exactly who. And on Route 10, my strongest catch was a Timpole named Timmy. Anything interesting for you, Venom, here on either any of those places, Fallshore, Epitome, Route 11, Route 10?
So I did not know Route 11 took you to another town. I looked up the encounters for Route 11, didn't care about any of them, and have not been to Route 11 yet. So I have not done. I will need to go back and get the good rod and the Rocky helmet, especially because I need items. I don't have items for all of my team yet, so that'll certainly be helpful. I did get the egg, but I did not hatch it, so I don't have a Togepi yet. There's the marketplace in Fallshore City, and one of the people is selling berries, which I believe are the berries for resetting your EV training.
And they for EV training and the friendship.
Okay. Yep. But one of the berries was one that I needed for the mission back in Blizzard City for the lady that wants you to help her make pies.
Yeah, the koala berry or something.
Yep, I bought the berry, took it back to her, got, I think it's like 4 hyper potions or something like that for helping her make her pie. But that mission actually completed. There's a whole house full of just people that give missions. So that completed my 5th mission, which then you get a new mission, which is the trainer gives you the trainer catalog. And I have not bothered even looking at the trainer catalog, because as soon as he said, if you beat the 229 trainers in this trainer catalog, come back and talk to me. And it's like, nope.
I will never see you again.
Nope. And then on Route 10, my only catch was a Goomy that I named Gumdrop, because I've never used that line either. So
it I love took me forever to catch my Goomy. I could not run into one to save my life.
Goomy was the first thing that popped up for me.
Also in Fallshore Town, you can get a couple evolution stones. You can get a Link Stone, you can get an Oval Stone. So if you're on the lookout for those would be in Fallshore Town.
Right. And from that same person, with that same house, is a girl in there. She will tell you how your Pokemon evolve.
Yes.
if you're unsure.
Yeah,
yes, which is
and
super helpful.
Link Stone is the nice addition for this one that handles the trade evolutions, I believe, right?
Yep.
So that one replaces trade evolutions. So you use that in place of trading a Pokemon and can evolve it. So that's handy.
Funny side mission. Did you guys talk about it already?
Which one?
About the missing little girl?
Oh,
no,
no, but
I never did the missing boy, and I haven't done the missing girl yet either.
Venom.
Oh, you should look. Listen, the boy, that's okay because like you get returned, which is a good TM, you know.
Right.
But missing girl.
This one's funny.
So the mom tells you that she's missing. Please find her.
Is that the one on the beach or whatever?
Yeah, she's on the beach. Like I knew instantly she was the one on the beach because she looked odd and out of place to me. So I go there and talk to her. She says that she's missing and she wants to go back. Strong wind comes in. Whoo!
Yeah. Yeah, she
like,
blew away, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I moved on.
It's like, right, okay, bye.
So you go around town trying to find her, and if you don't read up on it or just go back to tell the mom that hey, your daughter blew away, you'll never know to progress because you need to go talk to the mom first before you can actually stop her from blowing around town. But she blew around town like 10 times for me. But when the mom finally comes out to get her, they're like, all right, let's go. I can't remember what she gives you because I was when they walk away, the mom turns into a Ditto and the girl goes, Mom? And the Ditto slaps the girl and the girl turns into a Ditto and then they just walk away.
Yeah. It was a really funny quest.
Yeah. I was like, what the?
Yeah.
So whoever put that in, thank you. Thank you.
Good,
I needed that laugh.
While I was looking here, in Epitome Town, I found the trade for Hitmontop. You trade a Lickitung, and the Hitmontop is holding Protect pads. So you got a nice little held item with that too if you do that trade. Nice. But yeah, so we head west through Route 10, the Auburn Waterway, and I believe Route 9, right?
Yeah. Well, it leads us to Tellytown.
Telltown.
Telltown.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. In which, as soon as you get there, you see the scene with Jax trying to get past the grunts to get to Route 9. But again, like even if the grunts want to stand there, it's a barrier. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to get through, my guy. But he says it straight up in front of them. He turns around to the Star Raptor and he's like, yeah, come on, Star Raptor. We're finna go find a secret hidden path. They're like, really, bro? Like you just tell the bad guys what you finna do, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Jax doesn't use his head very much.
No, he clearly doesn't. But yeah, it's the first house as soon as you get in town. You go there and the lady tells you that her mom is very clingy, and so she had to build a tunnel so she can always
their houses.
Right.
Yeah.
Which you find out the house is just as far of a walk through the tunnel. Well, obviously it's just as far, but it's literally without the guys standing there. You literally walk out of the town and then walk up a little ways, and there's her grandma's house or whatever. It's like, why did we need a tunnel for this?
Because if you didn't have the tunnel, you couldn't have the cool like speed challenge.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah. You can have people actually sleeping in the tunnel.
Yeah, that's the funny part.
Yeah, she tells you, yeah, people be sleeping down there and all kind of stuff. Like what? Like, lady.
How did they get? There's only two ways into this tunnel: your house and your mom's house. Like what? Because just letting strangers come in.
Right. And like you have no door for it. So like you're not worried about getting robbed or none of this stuff. Like what kind of setup is this? You got to know that Team Shadow knows about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go there and you can go down. The name raider, he's in this place. One of the professor aides. If you got I can't remember how many Pokemon, but if you have
I think it was
however
only
many Pokemon,
or something like that. It was way less than you needed for the stat checker.
Yeah, give you the dowsing machine,
which is super cool, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
I've not used it yet. Is it different than how they normally work, or?
I think I don't usually use the item finders, but this one, if you have it registered and then you use it, it just stays like in the upper left corner of your screen. It gives you like if you're not by an item, it's just a white circle. But when you get near an item, it gives you directional arrows and colors that'll lead you to it.
Interesting. And it just stays on permanently
until you use one of your other items.
Okay.
So you can just turn this on and walk around, and it'll lead you to all the hidden items, and it's super cool. I like it a lot.
Nice.
Super awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, you go in the house, take the tunnel, and it takes you to this old lady house that says, "I love my daughter." But you leave out of her house, and the minute that you step out on Route 9, it is a grunt there. You have the battle with the grunt, and then Jax shows up after you, in which, like, okay, Jax, where the hell were you? Why didn't I see you in the tunnel beforehand? Because he come from the way that you came. But whatever. You have the option to team up with him to walk to the people's house that he's supposed to be going to, Arthur's friend's house, or you can go by yourself. I went ahead and teamed up with him. We beat up all of the grunts before I realized that it was a back area that you had to take to get to these people's house, but whatever.
What's funny is I teamed up with him, but then I was like, crap, I got to go back and do something. So like I went back through the tunnel, and he's like, wait, where are you going? We gotta do this. And I was like, well, just hold on, I got to go get something. He's like, you don't want to team up anymore? I was like, not right now. Like, I'll be right back. And I came back, and you know what? That jerk, he just went without me, and I had to go by myself. He didn't re-team up with me.
He could have did all of the stuff himself.
Yeah, but like he couldn't even wait like 5 more seconds. He just went without me. I was very offended.
But this is where I got mad, because I was like, okay, I'm going through all of this stuff for you, taking my time away from my mission. So when you get to the house, it's a grunt guarding the door. It's a double battle. You just beat them up. But Jax goes in the house before you. When you get in there, it's Ivory and a couple of other grunts. They're holding the old couple hostage. Mm-hmm. And, she acts, because Jack, he goes in with the whole hero spiel. I'm here to stop you because you guys are bad and yada, yada. She's like, why exactly do you think that we're doing what we're doing? And he's like, something evil and nefarious. You want to rule the region or destroy the world. She's like, you're so immature. The reason that we're doing this is because we want to regain something that we lost, and we will do it by any means necessary. And he's like, I don't even understand that. And she's like, of course you don't. And I don't have time to explain it to you. So that kicks off the battle between Ivory and a grunt that she teams up with. The Alakazam. My God. It gave me a headache. Like, I didn't need multiple battles for this one, thank God, because it was set up for this battle for Star Raptor to shine in this battle. So thank you, Star Raptor. I greatly appreciate you, because I think you need to be my Pokemon instead of Jax, but whatever. But this battle took way longer than it should have. Venom, did you have any trouble out of this?
I actually did not in this one. None of her Pokemon seemed to care that my Pokemon existed, so they annihilated Jax's entire team without Jax doing anything. And I brought out my Araquanid, took down their Incineroar, and then I brought Bags out, my Scraggy, and with Brick Break and Crunch, I basically just OHKO'd the whole rest of their team and worked through it. But they weren't attacking. Yeah, they didn't bother attacking Bags at all, because of course he's dark. So they took out all of Jax's team before I finished their team off.
Yeah, I guess she holds a grudge against me, and they just decided to jump me because
Right.
Star Raptor took no damage. You know, that's why I said, you know, good on you, Star Raptor. But yeah, after the battle, she had the grunts do something to the old people, and they put something on them to overwrite their emotions and personality and try to turn them into artificial shadow warriors.
They brought out a couple of Garchomp or something, right? That
Well,
they
it was Gabites.
or
Yeah, it
Gabite.
was Gabites. Yeah, but those Gabites, they were just there to make sure that the old people didn't run away.
But the Gabites disappear when the old people turn into shadow warriors, and
Right.
then
The Gabites, they run out the door. Yeah, they run out the door with the grunts. And
not until afterwards. They don't show when you beat them. The Gabites randomly show up again, and then the Gabites leave afterwards, if I remember correctly.
Maybe that was just a glitch for you because they ran out the door with everybody with me.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was just the old people in the house, in which I'm like, okay, Jax is gonna be smart. He's gonna go after them, and he's gonna leave me to do this, or you know, vice versa. No, help me, Kumino, get these people back straight, bruh. Like one of us needs to. Fine, I will help you. In this particular case, I did not need him. Michael, one dazzling gleam, brought the old folks back to senses, and they was like, "Oh, thank you for slapping me and bringing me back."
You're welcome.
Right, and so they explained that they have the prison stone, and that they need to crack open the prison stone to get the prison bottle to unleash the power that's inside, and they had to perform this ritual at a place called the Ruins of Void, or the Void of Ruins, or something like that.
Right,
because I don't have it written here.
I think it's the Ruins of Void.
Yeah, but essentially they're gonna try to get Zapdos. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna go update my grandfather on what's going on. You go to Thunder Cap Mountain and get Zapdos, but first you need to go back to Fallshore City and beat the gym leader there, because you're gonna need strength to be able to get through the cave. And I'm like, I'm even madder now, because I'm like, so let me get this straight. So y'all wrote this game in a way to where I purposely do something idiotic, like help him and stay with him, and you keep the gym leader. So when you go back through the Tail Town or whatever it's called, the gym leader is there. And he's sun grazing, bruh. So my head canon, once he tell me about this and tell me how sexy he is, I slap the shit out of him and send him back to the gym. So going back to Fallshore City Gym, I'm angry. I'm talking about, like, I am seething, like me, real life. I'm seething because I'm like, this don't make sense. I bet when I get there, they're gonna have Zapdos. I could have been there and had Zapdos, but whatever. So like, I'm just beating up his gym trainers, like they don't stand a chance. Like my head canon is, they're like, wow, why are you so angry? Oh my god. So I get to him, and the battle with him, I had no trouble, because you go in, it's an inverse battle. Okay, all the battles are inverse. I gotta say that off the top. So if you didn't do the inverse house, to get you some practice in, if you don't know what inverse battles are, it means how ground can't do anything to flying. Well, now ground is super effective to flying.
Yep.
So, but I knew this, and Michael, he was the man. Male, the gym leader name is Male, first and foremost. Gotta say that. Yeah. Male throughout Beware. Ancient Power. Pam takes out the Beware Omniboost. Michael just wrecks everybody else. Michael was mad like I was mad, because we did outlook this.
There you go. Nice. How was your battle, Venom?
Oh, let's see here. So before I could go and do the gym, I had to look up the level I was aiming for was level 36. So I had to go back and do a bit of a training arc. And then I actually went back and finished the 50 dex entries so I could get the stat scanner.
Nice.
Because I really wanted to know where are my Pokemon at for EV training at this point, to be able to get into the gym and battle the gym. Let's see here. And then once you get leveled up my entire team to level 36, still, let's see. Nope, I've swapped Snivy in at this point, and while I'm doing the trainer battles, Snivy actually evolves to Superior.
Nice.
I don't remember who I took out though. I took out Bags for this fight. So I've got Superior in, Scraggy is out. And when you talk to the attendant for the gym, they tell you that once you go in the gym, there is no leaving the gym. And I've never done inverse battles before, so I wasn't completely sure. I assumed that's what they meant, but I wasn't completely sure what I was going to be going into. So I actually went back after having the amulet coin for this whole second part here. I have like 150,000 Poke Dollars at this point. So I bought like 20 revives, 20 super potions, 20 potions, 20 awakenings. And so I'm feeling pretty good. I got my team up at level 36. Get through all of the trainers, not a problem whatsoever. They were knocking out some of my Pokemon just because off the top of my head, they're all normal types, so they've got coverage moves and everything like that. They don't really have any weaknesses. At least the normal side of them doesn't have any weaknesses anymore because they got rid of the fighting weakness. So they do manage to knock out some of my Pokemon. I use a bunch of the super potions and revives through getting through the trainers, make it up to Mel. And my first experience with Mel, my entire team is level 36. His team is Beware level 36, Porygon Z level 37, Lopunny level 37, Miltank level 36, Heliolisk level 35. My first experience with Mel is him literally one-shotting my entire team.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I
guess Mel got mad at me and took it out on you.
Yeah, just straight walk in. My entire team is at the level. I'm not even under leveled at this point or anything. I walk in. I don't remember who I had out first. Beware hits him with like a wood hammer or hammer arm, something like that. Oko's him, and then he switches to the Porygon Z. Which Oko's, I think Porygon Z had like Psybeam or something like that, which Oko'd
It had Psybeam and Thunder. No, was it Discharge or Charge Beam? It was some electric move.
Yeah. That's right. It had Charge Beam because it Oko'd my Metang with a Psybeam, and then Oko'd my Manectric with a Charge Beam. And then the Lopunny comes out, and it's a Mega Lopunny. And
I forgot to mention that.
The Lopunny has Hammer Arm, Facade, and Facade. I don't know.
It's Facade.
And Psybeam. So literally just one shot my entire team. I never got a move off. So again, I'm at the point where it's like, I am EV trained on all of my Pokemon at this point, and I am at the level I need to be. What the hell am I going to do to make it through this gym? So I actually started switching out leads just to see if there was a strategy I could start with. I'm pretty sure I started with Spike originally because I wanted to get down my poison spikes or toxic spikes. Never got a chance to. So obviously leading with Spike wasn't going to work. I needed to start with someone that was faster than the Beware. The Beware has a ton of defense, but is really, really weak to special defense. And both my Manectric and my Superior are special attack. They're both speed special attack. So they're really fast and they actually hurt the Beware. And on attempt number 6, while I was experimenting, I randomly, attempt number 6 of trying different leads and everything like that, I randomly beat Mel and did not write down anything I was doing because I did not expect to beat him. The only note that I have, let's see here. I revived Blue twice because Blue is faster than all of his team and does the most damage for my team. I had to revive Blue twice, and I had to use super potions a couple times on different people. And I ended up beating the gym with only 8 HP left on Dumbledore as my last Pokemon. So I'm now at 4 major battles in a row where I have a single Pokemon with red HP bar left as I come out of the battle.
You're making sure you utilize every fiber of your team to win these.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
But I just love the idea. Like my headcanon is like Venom walks in and Mel's just like, if you only knew the Togekiss that I just fought, you will feel my vengeance.
Yeah,
right. Because like I said, like I'm telling you, like Togekiss had to be pissed like I was because the first
to get the stat boost on the very first one,
right? I was like, yo. So when Porygon Z came out, Dazzling Gleam, Oko, Mega Lopunny come out, another ancient power, Heliolisk comes out. Give you a Dazzling Gleam. Like just it was just crazy. Just like, yes.
Kumino, the bond you have with your Pokemon is unheard of.
Right, because we went on a training montage as well. So, you know, like that's my homie because you got to grow the friendship naturally for it to go to Togetic and all that stuff there. So yeah. Michael has a lot of love for me. But again, in my head canon, after the battle, I say Mel starts to talk. But I slapped the shit out of him again. Like that was it. I slapped the shit out of him again for talking and not taking his job seriously and holding up the process to stop Team Shadow. Well, and then I take the fall badge and TM42 facade away from him and leave the gym. He chased after me outside because he wants to try to get back on my good side. It gives me HMO2 fly and says he's about to head over there and try to beat up Team Shadow because he don't think that I need his help, but he just want to help me out anyway.
Yeah. Well, and the whole him getting control of the gym. Do you guys remember the story?
Yeah, no, I wanted to talk about this. I think it's really cool. First off, I'll just go over my battle real quick. It's not anything super exciting. But like Venom, I'd never done the inverse battling before this gym. So and I pulled a Jared when I was talking to the trainer. I wasn't really paying attention to get the explanation. So I just figured it out on the go. The Miltank, knocked out Treebeard and Stella and almost E-Honda, but Nala came in and ended up cleaning up the whole thing. Nala, I forget what the ability is. Excuse me. But it's the special attack boost ability of, I also forget what the other one's called. Everything is leaving my mind right now. I'm so sweaty. But whenever I knock out a Pokemon, boost special attack. So just throw out Incinerate, and I'm just like
Royal Roar.
Yes, that's it. So knock out 2 or 3 Pokemon, and then Nala's absolutely unstoppable, which I'm really falling in love with. But yeah, the whole story behind how Mel obtains the gym and why it's a water themed gym and he's a normal Pokemon type gym leader. I'll let you, Venom, talk about the story, but the gym itself, the layout is super cool, and I really appreciated the like puzzle, quote unquote puzzle, like maneuvering up to Mel. You're jumping across the lily pads, riding Laprases up and down waterfalls. That was pretty cool. I've actually really enjoyed each gym's path to the gym leader and their little gimmicks, like the inverse thing, the tailwind thing.
Except for the height in the corner one. That was annoying.
Oh, yeah, that one also. That was very annoying. But as annoying as it was I can't even say it was really unique because
yeah.
Well, it's different.
Yeah, the darkness part wasn't unique, but I think the needing to run and hide and everything like that was unique.
Yeah, that one made it unique.
Yeah, but why don't you tell everyone tell Jared specifically how Mel got this gym and why it's water themed.
So I don't have it written down, so I'm trying to do it by memory, but basically Mel was boyfriend to the original leader, right? And she was a water trainer. And she decided at some point that I think Mel was like too much for her or something like that. And
you don't say.
Basically just said, you know what? I'm moving to a different region. Peace out. Oh, by the way, you can have my gym. So Mel was given the gym. Mel is a normal trainer. Girlfriend was a water trainer, was the original gym owner and leader, and just said, peace out. I'm going to a different region. I can't stand you anymore. Take good care of my gym, and left.
And after our interactions with him, can you blame her?
I cannot. Nope. I didn't want to even do the gym.
He's so
I might just end. Yeah, I might just end my journey here. I don't want the badge bad enough.
Like, he's so conceited because he's like, you gotta love this instead of go to the gym because the gym girls, they love how I look.
Yeah,
bruh. Shut up.
The water glistening off of these abs.
Yeah. Right. You got the like just for show. You can't do nothing with them.
That's true. So like Kumino said, after we beat him, once we leave the gym, he stops us and he's like, hey, here's Fly. I heard what's going on with these shadow people and what they're trying to do at Thundercap Mountain. I'll meet you over there. Let's go stop them before they can get this Zapdos. As if they haven't already done it because you wasted so much of our time when we could have been there already trying to stop this. But that's where Leg 2 ends. We now have our 4 badges. We're halfway through. I think, is there 8 gyms in this? I think so.
I believe so. I believe it's 8.
So halfway through the gym circuit. And so far, we're kind of failing at stopping this shadow team. They've caught 2 of the legendary birds so far. And it's looking like they're on a really great track to capture the 3rd here. So before we close the episode, we, of course, need to recap our teams. And I'm realizing that I didn't write down any of my levels. So my team actually stayed the same minus the evolution. So now Treebeard is now a Trevenant. Nala is now a Pyroar. Stella is an Alolan Sandslash. E-Honda is still the Hariyama. Squidward is now Malamar. And Kai James is Pupitar, getting closer and closer to that majestic Tyranitar. Venom, what was your team looking like here after Leg 2?
My entire team ended up at level 36. Nice. I've got Ivan, my Superior, Dumbledore, my Boldore, Spike, the Nidoking, Sentinel, the Matang, Blue, the Manectric, and Sandy, the Araquanid.
Nice. What level does Matang evolve? It's probably
45.
Right up there with
Pupitar. I was thinking 42, but 45.
It's 45. Scraggy evolves at level 39 because he's been. It's going to be interesting for especially trying to think of the interstitial battle. Mm-hmm. There is no way I am making it through this game with only a 6 6-mon team. Because I'm already swapping people in and out, and so it'll be interesting to see when you get to the Elite Four. One, do you even have the option of switching between the Elite Four, or do you have to do it with a 6-person team? And what does that 6-person team look like for me? Because I have been swapping people in and out every single gym, basically.
Yeah, and before we wrap up the episode, we'll talk about the tournament and the rules and all that stuff. But Kumino, how's the squad looking?
All right, here we go. We got Michael the Togekiss at level 46. Modest nature, serene grace ability. S stats is HP, special attack, special defense, and speed. Tang the Embor at level 46. Adamant nature, reckless ability. S stats, attack, special defense, and speed. Leroy Jenkins the Gabite at level 47. Jolly nature, rough skin ability. S stat, HP, attack, defense, special defense, and speed. Lily the Florges at level 46, modest nature, flower veil ability, S stats, HP, special attack, and special defense. Pauls and Lucario, level 46, hardy nature, inner focus ability, S stat, special attack, and speed now, thanks to training. Austin Aries, the Crobat at level 46 with a jolly nature, inner focus ability, and S stat attacking.
Dang. Solid. By the way, I remembered Moxie is the physical attack boosting ability that I was thinking of.
My Scraggy has Moxie, so
yeah, Moxie is so good.
Yeah. Man, teams are really starting to shape up here, guys.
I like how Kumino is literally 10 levels above where I'm at.
Listener, please let us know what your teams are looking like here after leg 2. Leave a comment on the video, or if you're listening to this on audio platforms, Spotify has the ability to comment. I don't know about Apple or any of the other ones, but Spotify definitely does. So leave a comment. We want to hear about your teams. Also, feel free to join the Discord, where you can talk about anything else Pokemon related, or TV, film, other video games. We always
anything geek related.
Yeah, we got a lot of fun conversations going on in Discord all the time. But this interstitial tournament, okay, it will be similar to what we did for Pokemon Infinity. However, Pokemon Unbound does not have the ability to play online within the game like Pokemon Infinity did. So how we're going to handle this is how we handle all of our season finale battles, which will be via Pokemon Showdown. Pokemon Unbound does not have any Fakemon or unique regional variants, so we will be able to build our teams on Pokemon Showdown if you've used it before, or if you've watched our season finale battles. You'll kind of have an idea of what we're going to be doing here. But the team that you beat the Elite Four with, that show up on your Hall of Fame card at the end of the game, that will be the team that you're locked in using in this tournament. We're not going to do legendary Pokemon or mega evolutions, if we can even mega evolve. I would assume that we probably could at some point if the gym leaders are mega evolving against us.
So I know you can for sure in the post game, but I don't know if you get access to that in the
but we're not going to do legendaries or mega evolution in this tournament. You're restricted to the Pokemon that are on your Hall of Fame card. So in a few weeks, when we get to that point, just post a little screenshot of your Hall of Fame card so we know what Pokemon you're going to be using. In Pokemon Showdown, it's highly customizable. What we'll do is we'll set the Pokemon levels at 100. We'll input your team. You're able to input your move set, your ability, and your nature. We will not touch the IVs or EVs. We'll just let it auto fill depending on your nature. And you can also put your held items on your Pokemon that you had on your Pokemon in the game. All these rules and stuff will be in our Discord, so make sure you join the Discord and all that stuff. But what we'll do, just like we did for season 4, the winner of this tournament, or, if, well, I can't say one of us because I will lose, but if one of us, one of the hosts, if we end up winning, whichever listener or community member advances the furthest and or wins the tournament will win a really cool prize, which we cannot fully reveal yet, but it will involve being a part of the next season in some capacity. And I have a very cool idea that we've kind of tossed around before, and I'm really excited to do. So you want to win this tournament because it'll be very cool for you to be involved in this. All that being said, join the Discord. We have more details on the tournament and the rules in there. And yeah, do you guys have anything else you need to say before we wrap up here?
Slap the shit out of Mayo.
Yeah.
Don't let him go without giving him a smack. Yeah, Kumino's been streaming.
Mel needs to meet the Alakazam.
Yes, he does.
There you go.
maybe that will unfold in leg 3. We never know. He's coming to Thundercat Mountain. There's hope. But yeah, Kumino's been streaming some Luminescent Platinum, so go check out his stream. The link to his Twitch channel is down below. He also has a Discord you can join too, so make sure you check the episode description for links. And until next time, we will see you in 2 weeks because we're doing this bi-weekly. Sorry if you were anticipating an episode last week, but we decided to make this season bi-weekly just because of the length in between badges here. So enjoy, and we will see you in a couple weeks when we talk about Leg 3. Have a good one. I don't know why I just held up 3 fingers when I said bye, but okay, that's I guess I'm going all Hunger Games or something.
Leg 3. That's what you're ready for. Leg 3.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.